In more than 13 years of privatization in the power sector, the committee says the major challenge remains in the transmission channel. Inspecting the Benin Generation Company, a subsidiary of the Niger Delta Power Company, the committee expressed concern on its underutilization, despite being one among the best in the country.
There's no reason why for 21 years they could not come up with a better solution and get a better investor that will take over this. Perhaps maybe you are comfortable and enjoying West. So at this juncture, I think honorable colleagues, the DGBP has to be summoned. When we return back to Abuja, we will transmit a summon to the DGBP. It's instrumental to this West. Nigerians are issuing change. Taxpayers' money is being wasted. So take note, the DGBP to be summoned immediately we return back to Abuja.
Whether this place is moribund, because from a distance I can see that nothing is moving. And I was told that yes, partially. But from what I'm hearing now is that this place is not moribund. It has capacity. To do what? To generate 450 megawatts. Currently, only one turbine is working. Only 100 megawatts is being generated. And then there's sometimes you are asked to go down. And then the transmission line, which officially belongs to Niger Delta company, has now been taken over by a private entity to generate and transmit its generated power. Whereas you, the original owners, are not only asked to step down production. And then I'm getting really confused. TCN, BB, are there? What is really happening in your privatization? You have not privatized them. Yeah. So what is the issue here? Why are they being denied? Or the people who answer NCC, who are supposed to answer TCN? Why are you denying this Benin Genco? Why are you denying them the capacity? They have the capacity.
Use of their line.
You refuse them to use their own line. Did you outsource it to Azura? Did you confiscate? You took over their outsourced the thing so that you get more of this thing. And this is a private, maybe because of the British and other foreign companies that are involved in this thing. So these days we are more scared of America, Britain, so that they don't blackmail us. What is the problem really? Mr. Chairman, this is a very serious issue. What's happening really?
If this committee, in its wisdom, would also extend your findings and your work to help see how NDPC can recover most of its funds, that will help in our intervention to bring the power sector to top gear. I think I've addressed some of the key issues now. The financials, unfortunately, is not what will be readily available here at one power plant. It will be more of information that will come from the head office where the finance and accounts sits. This is just one power plant.
Also visited is the Azura Power Generation Plant in Edo State, where members inspected some facilities, assessing its performance in improving power supply.
We have been briefed on the working of the plant, and we also asked questions. We gave them our questionnaire, they will fill it, and then when we go back, now we make comparison between what we have seen physically and what they have responded on the questionnaire, and the submissions they have first made before the committee. So the work is ongoing. I must say that we are satisfied with what we have seen so far, but I'm not preempting the conclusions because there are other issues raised, particularly the issue of the outstanding payment, and generally the payment made to them in USD, while the consumption and the payment for the consumption is in Naira.
Azura, we are contributing our own quota. We produce about 460 megawatts that goes into the grid on a daily basis. Not just that, is the primary frequency influencer that we have that stabilizes the grid, black starting the grid when there is a grid collapse. We do all those things, and we are, as you can see, we have enough land here to actually expand. We are looking forward to expanding our capacity, which will also help in terms of the output that we have in the country. One thing I must say is that Azura is a very transparent company. Just like we've made ourselves available to the committee, we've given the information that we are asked of, and there are some of them that are being requested. We'll continue providing every one of them. We are a very transparent company. If you look at the financials of Azura, it's mostly European DFIs who also expect us to be very transparent in whatever we are doing. We are ready to help Nigerian government to solve the perennial power crisis. For me as an individual, I'm looking forward to the day where there will be no generator in any home in Nigeria.
This is Ogorede Power Plant Sapele in Delta State with an installed capacity of 450 megawatts with 4 turbines in place. As at now, only 1 turbine unit is working, providing 112 megawatts per hour due to shortage of gas supply, a situation the committee says is unbearable.
Other approval, fiscal plan,
find a roof.
station licenses,
Guys.
others, fire service, EIA,
Transport roof.
EIA and audits, revenue service tax, insurance.
A visit to Transcorp Power Plant at Ugeli, which was privatized in 2013, shows that it produces 740 megawatts with limited evacuation capacity and grid instability as a result of infrastructure deficits and vandalism of transmission lines.
I must say that our coming to Ugeli today has, to a certain extent, strengthened our convictions that the privatization is positive, because we have seen the deliberate investment into the sector, and the way Transcorp Power have conducted themselves since taking over, has gone a long way to boost our hope that yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
All right. You talk about Transcorp. You didn't talk about the Ogeredu, at Sapele. What do you observe there? And
we are not so happy. There's a mixed reaction. I say I'm not going to preempt our finding, but you see, I'm giving plus. Wherever we have seen plus, at the Sapele NIPP, we are so happy. It's a government under the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. They were limited. What limits them is what we are working to find out and address.
Let me start by saying that we're truly very proud of what we're doing in Transcorp Power. When we took over this operation in Ughelli, this plant was doing barely 160 megawatts of power, and we've been able to demonstrate the level of investment that we have done to boost that power to over 700 megawatts, which is a very strong privatization success story. So we remain the poster child that privatization does indeed work. And for us to be able to achieve stable power, we will have to work hand in hand with all the critical stakeholders in the power sector value chain, from our gas suppliers to the transmission company to the distribution company, working with our regulators, NEC. And so the grid collapse is a perennial issue, but all the stakeholders, we're all working together around improvements, around compliance with the grid code and a number of other things. But we've been able to demonstrate to the committee we are fully compliant, and we're doing everything that we can to make sure that our operation is sustainable and that it supports the aspirations of the federal government, but more importantly, supporting the efforts of the Minister of Power and NEC to ensure that we guarantee power to all Nigerians.
The committee engages the Benin Electricity Distribution Company where issues of shortchange to consumers, overbilling, and free meter installation were discussed.
Your agency, BEDC, has a lot of issues with respect of procurement. What are the dates of purchase and dates of manufacturing, history of each transformers from the previous owners that you purchased, where applicable? And tell us why BCD may not have purchased brand new transformers and other equipment, as there are reasons why equipments are not durable and fail to repeatedly forcing customers to use their funds to repair purchased equipment. Why is BEDC defrauding the government and its staff? That is true. Then thirdly, NEMSA...
Sorry to interrupt. I didn't get the question. I need to get...
Yes, the question is that we are suspecting that these transformers that you purchased may not be new. So on installation, they have issues. Yes, this is the major. On installation, they have issues. So customers are forced, because we have documents of complaints.
Having experienced challenge in the procurement because of the forex variations. Now, what happened to the money? Where is the money? Or where is the balance of that money? Remember, we were only able to, repay the fraction. What have you done with the money as you await? We would like to see the necessary bank statement where the money is. The correspondence to the CBN, to the TCN, to whoever, including the Minister of Power, on the issue. I would also like to see approval, because if we have a scope, project scope, and you decide to downsize and reduce the scope, then you have to be guided by a procedure that was to be approval. We'd like to see that approval. And okay, lastly, to the TCN. Open Kwale 133 volt DC transmission line, they say it's ongoing, awarded in 2018 at the cost of $1,090,000 US, with 523,503,391 naira component. The status of that project: Delta to Port Harcourt 330 kV direct DC transmission line, says ongoing, awarded in 2011. As of June 2024, the project was awarded at 27 million $0.079493. The Omoran Ebe 132 kV DC transmission line says ongoing, awarded in 2011 at the sum of $3,688,924.41. Benin North to Oshogbo 330 kV DC transmission line is ongoing at December 2024. Awarded at $33,459,919. And lastly, turn in and turn out of 33 kV Benin Ajakuta Yobo Power. This is ongoing as at December 2024, first awarded in 2027, awarded at $2,162,168. And the Okebe Ikare Akoko 132 kV DC transmission line says new project, awarded in 2023. December 2025 is still ongoing, but it was awarded at $3,735,948. We want to know the status of these projects. You can see how the Nigerian taxpayers' money were being committed. $34 billion committed into the sector from 2005 to date, and we are still struggling.
Section 43, the first section 47(1) of Customer Protection Regulation 2023 of NEC, this is it. It talked about sensitization of consumers. How many consumers have you sensitized to even understand their rights? So what has happened is, you have reeled out this here without statistical data of how many feeder pillars, how many communities, how many consumers you are serving. It will be proper to furnish the house with that. And then it will be proper to look at eligible customer you're talking about from the corruption within, which is pushing people. These 7 factories employ about 1,000 persons in Asaba, and they stopped work.
In BDC, there are bad eggs among us. I can tell you every month we have dismissal, even when union come protesting, provided that we have reasons for dismissing such persons, especially non-tolerance for such extortions and issues like that you have mentioned here, we do. But when people do not respond, Chairman, let me shock you. One of the greatest disservice any Nigeria is doing to Nigeria today is that this issue that my brother, we always meet, he was here even last year with the other committee. If you ask him, give me this person, oh no, if I give you, you will sack them. Then if we do not sack them, I'm only saying not you, other persons. Somebody has written to me, complain, with evidence of what my men did in the field. By the time I said, please, give me the name and number, IMD, you will sack the person. I beg, I only just want to tell you. How do we do this? So just to say that, I am not denying that there are some bad eggs. We are fishing them out, we dismiss.
While in Edo State, the committee visited Deputy Governor Dennis Idahosa, who was a former member of the House of Representatives. More testimonies continue to emerge as the committee scrutinizes documents submitted by distribution companies. Issue of estimated billing and non-compliance to national metering program were raised.
Convert the total indebtedness to equity. Certainly, most of the discourse, most of the key core investors, the 60% stakeholder will be vacated.
You know, that you took over the work. I want to find out if this is all you have achieved so far, or there are still other areas that you have not enumerated here. Then secondly, I want to also find out what are the mechanisms you have in place, you know, to curb the energy theft in terms of, you know, smart meters, you know, tamper detection, real-time usage monitoring, and, you know, probably automatic alerts. And not, it shouldn't just be about you as well. What mechanisms are you also putting in place to ensure that you are not cheating Nigerians and you are not overbilling them? Because most of the time, most of you, you know, Gencos and all these discos, it's all about you. Consumer protection is very, very, you know, low. Most of the time, you don't care about how Nigerians feel or what they are actually going through. It's just about you. So a lot of Nigerians are being overbilled. A lot of Nigerians don't get the right service, the quality of service that they ought to have, you know, versus what they pay you. So what mechanisms are you also putting in place to protect Nigerians?
Customer population, which is customer that are in our books as customers, and there's the actual population, which is, like for instance, for a household, if you go into a flat, I have just one customer, but I have 6 people in that flat. So in terms of population, we're over 20 million in terms, but in customer base, we're about 2.7 million. So I hope that clarifies that. And that has grown. And I agree with you. The metering is not growing exponentially in line with the population growth. That still ties down to the liquidity, which I also explained. But for also clarity and for perspective here, this management team sitting here came on board with the intervention of AMCON. The previous management team and the board, due to what happened in the past, were all left the system. So rather than 4,000 people losing their work and 7 states being in darkness, we came in to steady the ship and to build the business through AMCON until a new investor comes. So we might not have full answers to what happened in the past, but we can speak comfortably to what we have been able to do within the time we've been here.
Are you a receivership?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, he's from CBN. He's from CBN. We're just here to steady the ship, and then 3 years. Yes. Yeah. So, yes, we will not deny the fact that we rely on donations from donor agencies and the local politicians. Yes, we are very happy that it's not that we go asking, but the demand surpasses what we can do in terms of providing all those materials and the space of growth. An investor would actually, a core investor will actually go out and borrow money and fill those gaps and buy those transformers. But again, looking at the reality in Nigeria, the interest rates from borrowing money is about 30% now. There's no incentive there at that sector now. I'm not saying this is the reason, but that's something we also look at as a reason why the investment has backed down a bit in that area. But answering the questions, we have been able to buy a number of transformers, and we provide that list, like the Honorable asked, the breakdown of the number of transformers we published here, which ones were from the donor agencies, which one were from the state politicians, which one did IBDC buy. We'll make that available in writing to the committee, please. I don't have that off here. Also for clarity, the generation gap or the division gap, you mentioned that why are we relying on the Gencos too much? Okay, so the market is broken down in, IBDC has an operating license to distribute electricity. We don't have any license to generate electricity. But we can partner with, if an IPP or a generating plant comes into my franchise area, I can buy from him and distribute on his behalf. That's the only license I have. I don't have a license to generate electricity. So I'm reliant on the grid, which is also a problem because the grid is not enough the grid supply is not enough, and that answers my other question at the back. I made a statement that my load demand in the 7 states is in excess of 2,000 megawatts, roughly. I'm only able to get about 400 on the average from the grid because I have an 11% quota of whatever generated on the grid. So when he mentions 3,000 something megawatts, I'm entitled to about 400 megawatts of that. How am I going to use that?
Thereafter, members inspected some facilities at the substation of ECHO, calling for technology-driven system. The committee was at the Ikeja Electric and Ebin Power Plant in Ikorodu, contributing to the national grid with the installed capacity of 1,320 megawatts. Discussion centered on the interventions made by government and how power can be improved for national growth and development.
You have come a long way and you have really demonstrated that you are out to do the business. And apart from that, you also have that singular determination that single you out from others that we have seen so far. Perhaps maybe because of the advantage you have of being within the center of excellence. Yes, but you know, there may still be issues, complaints thereabout. But on the physical assessment, I can say you are one of the best. And maybe this will qualify you to the invitation of the committee. We are going to have the stakeholders engagement generally, where all the stakeholders will aggregate, and then we have those that have success story to lead, you understand, in making presentations.
Inshallah, we participate together to make Nigeria great.
Excellent.
To make this grid. When I say grid, is the entire electrical system working together as one piece.
Financial challenges of the sector and to unlocking its full potential for national development. We therefore look forward to your observations, to your feedback, to your insights, to your guidance, and of course ultimately your recommendations, which will help us further strengthen the reform process in Nigeria. I would like to once again, Honorable Chairman and distinguished members, I would like to once again welcome you to Ikeja.